Welcome back to SQL with Ravimartha. This is a new series for SQL Server tutorial for beginners. If you have already subscribed my channel, please do press the bell icon for notifications. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe and tap the bell icon. In today's session, we will learn about installation of Microsoft SQL Server and also introduction to SQL Server Management Studio (SSMS). This is the part 2 of this series. Let's dive into today's session. If you want to install Microsoft SQL Server, you can search with Microsoft SQL Server Developer Edition in Google and you will get number of installation links. So here are a couple of snippets which I have taken while installing in my machine. So I have installed SQL Server Developer Edition 2017. Once you download the package, so once you run the application, you will see this particular dialog box. You can choose the basic installation type and we have to accept the agreement and then choose the path for installation and click on install. So it will download the package. Once it is downloaded, it starts installing and then so the developer edition got installed successfully. After that, you'll get an option to install SSMS. During installation, the package will download it and then it will take some time to download and run it. So once the setup is completed, you will get this message. If you want to install SQL Server Data Tools, that is the framework to create SQL Server analysis services, cube or tabular forms, or if you want to run SSRS reports, SQL Server Reporting Services, SQL Server Integration Services. So choose all those which are applicable if you want to work on Microsoft MSBI components. These are basically Microsoft MSBI components. So click on install. After that, it will download the package and it will start installing. Then so here it is installing the analysis services. Then it will install the reporting services, then the integration services. Then the setup is completed. You can do now any of the Microsoft MSBI components. You can develop and deploy. So once you install the SSMS, if you type SSMS in the Windows icon or in the search bar, it will open this particular SSMS app. So it will show like this. And then once you click on it, it will open this window which says Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. This is of version 2017 which I have installed. So once you install, it will open this particular window. This is how it looks like. So the server type, server name and authentication, username and password. So let's get into the SSMS and see it in real time. So these are a couple of important icons in SQL Server Management Studio. If you want to open a new query, you click on this new query button. If you want to execute, select if you want to execute a couple of SQL queries, select those SQL queries and click on execute button. If you want to see if your query has any syntactical error, press on this parse button. If you want to show the estimated execution plan, click on this button. If you want to show the actual execution plan, click on this button. So basically these plans are being used when you are fine-tuning your queries or you are doing the performance tuning, etc. So if you want to show the results in a text format, click on this particular button. If you want to have the results in the grid format, click on this particular button. If you want to export the data of the result set into your file, press this particular icon. So these are the shortcuts which I have listed here if you want to use the keyboard shortcut. And if you want to enable the IntelliSense, so this is the button which will give the columns available in the table or the tables available in that particular schema. So you can just type in, so it will help you what are the available columns, so which will make your life easy while typing. If you want to show or hide the results window, just press Ctrl R. If you press it again, it will hide. If you press it again, it will show the results pane. If you want to comment particular lines of code, just select those lines and click on this particular button, which will comment the lines. And if you want to uncomment the lines, just select those lines and click on this particular button. So let's see it in the actual SSMS now. So the other icons are new query, which will open a new query window, execute, which will execute the new queries. You can also debug the queries using this button by selecting any stored procedure. This will parse the query. If there are any syntactical error, it will help us to correct them, or it will help them to show where the error is. And this is the IntelliSense. If you want to enable the intelligence, it will show up the columns or present tables present in that particular schema, which will reduce the effort to type the objects. This one will include the actual execution plan, and this one will include the statistics. This one will give the estimated execution plan, results to text, results to grid, and results to file. This will comment the lines, it will uncomment the lines. Select those lines and just click on this button, which will do the action for you. And this is for indentations. This is the save button, so you can also save your queries, whatever you write in this query editor window, and you can save it here as a .sql file, or you can copy into a notepad as well. There are other options like view, option, object. If you want to see the object explorer, you can click on it. If you want to pin the object explorer, you can pin it with this icon. Once you click on it, it will hide. If you want to stay it open, just click on this pin button, which would help you. If you close this object explorer, you can also go to view and click on the object explorer. And you have other options like object explorer details and the solution explorer, and a couple of other options here available here. And if you go to tools, there are options with which you can set up the shortcuts to the keyboard shortcuts. I will do a separate video for these keyboard shortcuts. There are other icons like cut, copy, and undo, etc. These are most common. I think you know it. One thing is to note that SQL Server is being integrated with Windows operating system in terms of its services. Suppose if I want to connect to this server, one of the services of SQL Server should be enabled. If I want to see the jobs, one of the services of the SQL Server should be enabled. So let's see what are the services. So to see the services, just press Windows button and type services.msc. So I have clicked on it. You can see SQL Server and also SQL Server agent services. So let's disconnect this particular window. I'm closing the SSMS. Now I want to launch it again. So this will open this particular window and click on connect. So it got connected. So there is a service which is running behind that. That is SQL Server. That is SQL Server Microsoft MS SQL. This is the default instance actually. So if I stop this particular service, so it is getting stopped. Now if I close this window and try to launch again, click enter. So if I click cannot, so it will try to connect and it will check whether that particular service, the default instance, is running or not. If it is not running, it will not log into this server. So let's wait for a couple of seconds to give the error. Yeah, it has given the error. It says cannot connect to this particular server. Let's enable this service again. Right click and start. So it will start the services. So let's go ahead and connect back. That's it. It got connected. So it uses this particular service to log into the database engine. and this is the MS SQL Server is the default instance. And also while installing the SQL Server, you have an option to set it as automatic, or now also you can set it actually. Go to the properties and you have an option to startup type automatic, or you can set it to manual, or you can disable the service as well. Moving on to the next one. If you want to see the SQL Server agent, this also associated with a particular service. So this particular service is not running currently. So that is, let me start. So it is red currently. Let me refresh that. Yeah, it turned green actually. So which proves that these SQL Server and the Windows operating services are interrelated. So as soon as, let me stop this service, stop. So it will take some time, and as soon as you see it, so it will go to the red again. So let me refresh that particular icon. Yeah, let me enable back, start the service. Yeah, it turned green. That means this service is particularly currently, that means this service is currently running. So there are a couple of other services like analysis and integration services also. There are different services which are associated here. So if we are unable to log into the server, see that the services are running first. So we have reached the summary slide. In today's session, we have seen the installation of Microsoft SQL Server and the installation of SSMS and SSDT, which is SQL Server Data Tools. And also we have launched the SQL Server Management Studio through the run, as well as we have searched using the Windows button. We have completed the overview of the key icons in SSMS. Also we have seen the Object Explorer, Query Window and Results Window. And also we have seen the SQL Server is integrated with Windows operating system, and there are services associated with that particular SQL Server. That is, if you want to see the services, just press services.msc and you can see the services. The default services are Microsoft SQL Server and the SQL Server agent, this is related to the jobs and this is related to the database engine. And we also discussed the services, server types basically, which SSMS can connect to. That is database engine, analysis services, integration services, reporting services. And the last one is the authentication modes, which is in Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication, or the mixed mode of authentication. And there are three other options to connect to Azure. And we have seen the connection properties, additional parameters in SSMS. So if you see the options, we have the connection properties and the additional connection parameters. So let's have this port, the default port, and we can, if you want to increase the connection timeout, we can increase it here. In the next video, I will show you how to create a database in SSMS, and also I'll discuss about the data types available in Microsoft SQL Server. Here are my channel details. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and if you have already subscribed, please do tap the bell icon for notifications. I'll also post a text version of this video available on my blog, that is sqlwithravimartha.blogspot.com. Also do like my Facebook page, which is SQL with Ravimartha. Thank you. That's all for today. Have a great day. Thank you for listening.